It has been a long time since we've been able to cover any of the premium products from Beadle and Grimm's, mainly because I take a lot of time to cover them in the comprehensive way that I like to do things, and time has been in pretty short supply around here lately. But I am starting to catch up, and today we are starting with this, the DM Vault for the newest D&D book, Keys from the Golden Vault, which is an anthology of heist-themed adventures. And many thanks to Beadle and Grimm's for sending it along to us to review. We covered the book and all the adventures in it in a video that you can see in the corner of your screen up there. And this is different from most of the Beadle and Grimm's products we cover here because it doesn't include the adventure book. You will have to buy that separately. This is purely a DM toolbox to enhance your adventures with maps and handouts. If the maps and handouts are your favorite parts of Beadle and Grimm's boxes, and they are for me, this might be right up your alley. So let's see what's in store in this highly secured DM Vault. Before we jump in, another great tool to add some flair to your 5e games is the Fablemaker's Animated Tarot Deck and Guidebook from Hit Point Press. You know how cool the animated spell cards are. Well, they've taken that magic and combined it with tarot to create a beautifully animated deck of tarot cards. You can use them as regular tarot cards to do readings of your own, and there is an included little book to get you started, but the Fablemaker's Guidebook will teach you how to use the cards in your 5e games to enhance classes, to generate NPCs and backstories, and to guide decision-making for your NPCs and characters. It is a great way to liven up an arcane or occult spellcaster and to introduce something a little bit different to your jamming style. Learn more and pick up a copy for yourself at the links down below me here or at animatedtarot.com. First of all, the folder here itself is a puzzle. The first time your adventuring party gets an assignment, Mission Impossible style, you can slot the appropriate handouts inside and then pass the folder over them, tasking them with solving the puzzle in order to access their mission documents. So if they aren't cunning enough to get inside, then they probably aren't up for the job. I'm not going to spoil the puzzle for you, but the solution is given to the DM, of course, and there's a little video on the Beadle and Grimm's website if you want a little bit more guidance. The one thing I'll note is that this is really just a magnet holding this thing closed, so it's not really a puzzle box in that sense, but everything we do in our games is make-believe, right? There are 13 adventures in Keys from the Golden Vault. Each adventure starts with the PCs getting a letter detailing the caper and their mission, and a player version of the map of the location that they're headed to. The main book has these lovely paper maps like this in all sorts of different styles, but of course no easy way to give them to your players. Best you can do really is to make color copies of them out of the book or print them out if you have the color printer at home and access to the D&D Beyond files. But if you have your little DM Vault here from Beadle and Grimm's, you'll get those maps as they're meant to be displayed. Frayed edges and holes and everything. Each adventure gets at least 3 items: a player map, a letter introducing the quest, generally adapted from the intro text in the book, and a laminated DM version of the full battle map as presented in the book. It is laminated so you can easily mark locations and enemies and all those kind of things with a dry or wet erase marker without ruining your map. Though keep in mind that these DM maps are 8.5 by 11 inches. They aren't intended to be played on. The best thing about these maps though, and low-key one of the best things about the entire set, is that they include a sidebar telling you at a glance the key bits of information you need to know about each room, like the monsters inside, the traps, the secret doors, and important items. Seeing all the monsters at a glance will help you prep your minis and your encounters, and having that information at your fingertips should help you keep your game flowing more smoothly without forgetting something important in any given room. The backs of the DM maps are blank so you can jot down notes for yourself. And some of the adventures have additional in-world documents like notes and menus, and some of them have full battle maps of important locations that you can play on. Now, some of the documents are, like this one, quite delicate, so do handle them with care. And happily, each document is labeled on the back with which adventure it belongs to, so it won't be hard to sort them out. So we're just gonna walk through the 13 adventures in the book, and I'll show you what you get with each one. Again, to get the full rundown of each adventure, check out that video up there in the eye. And this will contain spoilers for the adventures, fairly light spoilers, so skip ahead to the conclusions using the doohickey down below or the segmented timeline below me if you just want to skip ahead. Starting off with the Murkmire Malevolence, a Night at the Museum style caper. The vault here gives you the basics, the player map, the DM map, and a letter of introduction. Up next is the Stygian Gambit, in which you'll be running a heist in a Nine Hells themed casino. Along with the regular items, you get a menu, a letter from the adventure, and a placard that goes over all the casino rules. There's also this envelope that came in the box. It's the only item without an adventure label on the back. I'm not 100% certain, but it may be for that afterlife letter for this adventure. There's also a battle map of the vault location where the PCs will face off against a Minotaur skeleton. The map here is 24 by 14 inches. Reach for the Stars is a horror-themed romp through a Far Realms haunted mansion. You get the 3 regular documents plus 3 notes, which you can cut out and present to your players along with their map and their letter in the beginning of the adventure. There's also a map of the ritual room where the climax of the adventure takes place. That map is 16 by 19 inches. In Prisoner 13, the PCs will have to bust into a prison to get information out of a prisoner. You get the regular 3 items for this one, including the very cool looking player's map, which presents a magical projection of the map, which the PCs can see in-game from a magical sapphire. Tockworth's Clockwork sees the PCs trying to liberate a Svirfneblin town from out-of-control clockwork creatures. You get the main 3 items plus a battle map, which features a number of locations. On the left-hand side, you have the security center where the final confrontation occurs, and on the right, we have areas L9A and L9B. Tockwork's Workshop, where they'll have to contend with a shield guardian and 2 sets of animated armor, not to mention various traps and other items. This map is 16 by 19 inches. Next up is Masterpiece Imbroglio, one of my favorites from the book. You'll be breaking into a thieves guild, which should prove to be quite a challenge. You get 2 notes in addition to the regular items. Next up is a bit of a ghost story, An Axe from the Grave, which includes our regular 2 maps and the letter of introduction. The map in this case being drawings of a sandcastle. Vidorant's Vault will find your heroes, ? Stealing a diadem from the vault of a master thief. This one includes the regular 3 items as well. Unlike some of the player maps in this book, this one is pretty faithful to the real map. Next up, we have a lore-filled adventure called Shard of the Accursed, where you'll be doing a reverse heist, smuggling something into a haunted tomb. This adventure includes a battle map of the War Room location where one of the climactic battles will likely take place. The War Room map is 24 by 14 inches. Heart of Ashes is probably my favorite adventure in the whole book. This one has a chance at being a very, very memorable story for your table. Check out my full review for all those details. In addition to the regular items, you get an illustrated fairy tale story that the PCs will find in Area S12. It'll give the players a few hints about what's really going on. You also get this very cool map of parts of a floating, broken castle where the adventure takes place. Like I said, this one's really memorable. And this map is 17 by 20 inches. If Heart of Ashes had the potential for being the most epic adventure in the book, Affair on the Concordant Express might be the most sheer fun. This is a modular train heist on a multiversal train. You'll get your usual 3 items plus a ticket to the Concordant Express. The penultimate adventure is Party at Palisade Hall, in which you'll have to find a way to snatch a diamond from an archmage at a ball in the Feywild. In addition to our 3 mainstays, you get an invitation to the party. And there is a 17 by 20 inch map of the unusual location of the climactic battle. And the last adventure for 11th level PCs is Fire and Darkness, in which you're trying to steal the Book of Vile Darkness from an Afridi, and luckily we've had a few Afridi minis lately, most recently in the Sand and Stone set, which we just reviewed in the eye in the corner of your screen up there. And folks, that's everything included in the set. If the set just had those player maps, I would probably be sold. I hated that the book had those awesome, diverse maps and no easy way to produce them for your players at your table. Now, this is an anthology book, so if you're just planning to run a couple of the adventures here, it may not be worth it to get this box. But if you want to use the campaign framework the book provides to run most or all of these heist missions, then this box will make that experience a lot more fun, I think. The DM Vault for Keys from the Golden Vault is available now for about $95 plus shipping. Remember that it doesn't include the adventure itself. Now, I'm a proponent of having every player contribute financially at the start of a new campaign. If you went in for this box plus this book, which is currently going for about $35 online, and you had 4 players at your table, you would just need about $26 from each person to cover it, not counting shipping. That's one dinner at a restaurant or a trip to the movies these days. But as always, boxes like this are just to enhance your stories. They aren't necessary to run the campaign. And if you do have a way of producing high quality versions of the player maps at home, that might be a more affordable option for you. My 15-year-old laser printer downstairs isn't gonna cut it though. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. What do you prefer? Do you like these more affordable packages with documents and maps, or do you like those bigger premium boxes that are like $500 with hardware and custom adventures and all sorts of crazy swag? Which one do you like better? I'm working on reviews of their other recent boxes. You can expect to see Absalom City of Lost Omens and Dragonlance here in the next few weeks, so be sure you're subscribed to see that. Also, pick yourself up the Fablemaker's animated tarot deck at animatedtarot.com, or use our links down below the video here to let them know we sent you. If you want some cuddly kobolds to accompany you on your heists, you can adopt one or more at koboldplush.com. And if you'd like to join me on social media, you can find me at GrubChat, Teleface, What's Cord, and 6 Degrees. For now though, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.